Good morning. This is my morning market analysis. In this live stream, I'll be going over the different markets, stock market, cryptocurrency, oil, and then different sectors. And then I'll be talking about how I will be trading this market today, what I'll be expecting and why I'll be expecting it. What we're looking at right now is the SPY, the SPY S&P 500 ETF. Yesterday we had a bigger sell-off. Let's see if we can just get my charts here to load. Yeah, yesterday we had a bigger sell-off when it broke through this that was supposed to be the new support, the old resistance, and is now holding underneath it. It's consolidating at a small support, and it is going lower in pre-market. So we'll see if that breaks. If that breaks, I expect another down day, and within the week, I expect us to reach at least this gap fill. If not, I think it'll be a quiet day with sideways movements. I'm low-key expecting lower prices. If this gap fill doesn't hold and it breaks through it, then I expect way lower prices as the market is due for a pullback. The reason why I say this is because of these patterns in the SPY, but also in the VIX. This is the VIX, and yesterday, well, 2 days ago, we actually tested the breakout. Didn't end up closing above it, but we broke out yesterday and is now continuing on that move. And an elevated VIX means that volatility will go up or is going up, is what it means. We have been hovering down here for a while. A lot of traders have been going long the VIX around this whole area because they know that the market is due for a pullback. So when this thing finally goes, it will explode. And for the people who are long the actual stock market, that's negative. The US 10-year yield is up today. We follow this because the US is in so much debt that they can't afford this to go up too much because they can't afford to pay the debt. So we have noticed in these last couple of months that the QQQs or risk stocks go up when this goes down, and so on. So if we see this getting a bid, then we should think about getting a trade short in tech stocks. As long as this keeps falling down, then we should expect the tech stocks to be okay. Oil, yesterday I was talking about how oil broke out of this flag, but because it broke out on a Friday when we had options X, I was not sure if it was a real breakout, so I wanted to wait and see before I called any directions. And now, as you can see, we're pulling back in underneath the flag. It might look for some sort of support here at the 50 MA. Or if this bottom breaks, I still expect it to fall hard if this bottom breaks. Let's see, the IWM. This is the Russell 2000. And for a while now, we've been calling this head and shoulder pattern. It continues to follow the pattern, and we're down now in pre-market. I do expect some sort of a short-term support when it gets down here, and then we'll have to see if it chooses to follow through with the head and shoulder pattern. If it does, first target short is here at the 190, which is a is the height, the head of the head and shoulders. That's how far down you're expecting to go. Or the next support is 200 MA. If that doesn't hold, then we're in a full collapse. Let's take a look at the QQQs. Okay, looks like we're continuing to fall down here too. Not a lot, but we're slightly down in pre-market. I do expect us to come down and test, yes, that exact line. The green here, for either a continued move to the upside or a breakdown for a bigger pullback in the market. If we do, we could go as low as 260, even to test COVID highs of 240. Let's look and see what the semis are doing. We follow the semiconductors because they are a good indicator of what the market is thinking. As of now, the semiconductors are still in a strong uptrend, but we're falling slightly down to test support again. If this doesn't, watch out market, because that will lead to some panic selling. We've been floating up now these last couple of days because of low volume. So we had a sell-off day yesterday, but we should not be expecting any bigger moves to the downside unless we see volume. And we can follow volume at the VIX. Let's take a look at gold. Breaking out today, which is good. Higher in pre-market, setting new highs. A lot of traders got in this down here. I think I mentioned that yesterday. We were talking about it as it broke out. For the traders that entered the gold market, they're expecting a longer term strong up move in gold, and that's why they're trying to buy as much gold as possible. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Still just in this ranging here at the bottom. Like I talked about yesterday, if this breaks, I expect the bull market for Bitcoin to be over. If it doesn't break, I expect there to be one last small move to the upside before we finally do see a break. My targets are here between 70. You see this box. This box are basically these two red lines between 71 and 82. Finds his top. We'll see the alts go on one last run, hopefully, before they also collapse. One of them is XRP, just ranging like Bitcoin is. ETC. Doing a lot of the same. We're gonna have to see and wait and see what happens. The dollar today is up slightly. Yeah, I expect it probably just range here. I do expect the dollar to continue to fall until this market falls. When this market falls and we see panic selling, I think the dollar value will go up a lot. Okay, let's look over some trades. I mentioned MRNA yesterday, and I told you that if the bottom broke, I was going to go short. And I actually found a smaller pattern before it broke, and I entered the market, or entered it. Took half here at the bottom, and now in pre-market, we're breaking newer lows. So I'm sitting pretty good in that. So I've moved my stops to in the money, and my swing short target will be the 200 MA or this line. It's all about whichever comes first. Let's look at some swing trades that I'm looking at today. As long as the market stays light volume, I think it's okay to buy stocks at strong supports. But if we see any strong volume, I will not be buying. I'll be getting out of the longs I have and sticking with my shorts. We're building up a strong support here in OBLN. You can see it's a strong flag. If it gets back, I will be entering a swing long with a stop slightly underneath it. Let's take a look at SOS. I was kind of surprised that it's ticking up, or was ticking up. I saw the supports that it hit. But this is a stock that usually moves positively based upon what Bitcoin is doing. It's a Bitcoin stock. It hit these supports and was moving up. And okay, it's way down in pre-market. It's hitting these supports. It's actually at my buy level today. So for to start a position here, I would recommend doing that today, actually. So we can start a position here and have targets at the 50 MA or higher, for that matter. But as soon as it happens, keep your stops close to your entry price. If it drops lower, I would add down around $3. It's a good buy because I expect Bitcoin to make one more move to the upside, and when it does, this stock will follow. Okay, let's look at the weed sector. We had 420 yesterday. It was, like I told you guys yesterday, a sell the news event that we gapped up higher in pre-market and sold off hard as that happens. So we see that we're even selling off harder now in pre-market. Tilray has a trend line that is coming in down here. I will not be buying at the trend line, but I will be buying at this upsloping trend line if it combined with this strong support down here at 1271. I'll be starting a position in Tilray simply because huge news about legalization of marijuana, and if and when that happens, we'll see stronger moves in the sector. I found something that looked interesting in ACB, which is also a cannabis name, and has not played out as of yet, but it's a good place to be adding or starting a position in ACB, simply because you can see that we're almost forming what we call a big W pattern, right? And if this is a W pattern, the bottom of this W will be like around here. When this breaks to the upside, first target is the top of W, which is about $19. If the W breaks, then this is going to be a long-term trend change in the ACB stock. So might be worth thinking about when you want to look at your portfolio. Next up, we talked about this. I was not the one that found this. This is from the In the Money Stocks service. I don't have it, but they're nice enough to post a lot of charts on their Twitter accounts. And it's a bear flag in the NIO. Like we know that the EV sector has been hot for a long time and it's way overvalued. So we still expect lower prices in the sector. And when you have a pattern that shows you, or that can give you a good risk to reward, you can add, or you can start the position as it breaks down and have a stop loss up here at the 40 level. Targets are down here at the gap fill at $22 or $21.97. I like the trade, especially when you break to 200 at the same time.